Hey everybody, it's Laura Learns here today with another food prep day. I'm going to be making veggie bins to get me through my week. I'm also making 2 recipes off the website, which is stuffed peppers, thanks to Jay's mom, and hamburger soup, thanks to my godmother, Audrey. I'm going to be, well, I actually started already. I started last night by thinking about what I was going to be making. I took out ground turkey and ground beef for my recipe, so it's thawed for today. This morning I've wiped off all my counters and started pulling everything out that I'm going to need. So I have pulled out all my canned goods, all my vegetables. I have pulled out everything I'm going to need in order to cook so that everything's already all handy. Got myself the knife, my favorite knife, making sure it's clean. I've already started chopping a little bit of celery. I wash my favorite frying pan that I like to use so that everything is sort of ready to go. I did end up making a small grocery list after I went through the recipes a little bit closer, realizing I was out of a few staples, and sent my husband on a little run to get a few things. So I hope you guys have been enjoying the videos so far. I really do want to build a community, so I hope that you share with other people that you think will like whatever it is I'm featuring: scrapbooking, painting, just things about life, retirement, empty nesting, being prepared in the kitchen, trying to lose weight, all these things that I'm trying to do. If you're trying to do any of those things or you think anybody else will enjoy them, please share. I hope also that you will comment. I love seeing what people are thinking and how they're enjoying things. If you've got some constructive feedback for me, I would love that too. Today for my recipes, I literally just copy and actually, I didn't even paste. I just hit copy and then right-clicked and said print, and I printed out the copy of my recipes right from the website. So there's no picture or anything that goes with it, but this works really good for me because I know I'm getting them from the website. Often this will get pretty mucky. I have so many recipes that I store, and you can just either use it right off of your phone or device or print it out. It worked fairly well, so I'm content with that for now. Anyway, I am going to be starting to wash my vegetables and chop a few things up. I'm going to listen to some Rascal Flatts, get in a good mood. Figured it'll probably take me a couple of hours to get everything done, but then my week is set for healthy eating and 0-point foods, which is going to make me feel a whole lot better. So here I go to get started. Onion, zucchini, and mushrooms. The original recipe doesn't ask for mushrooms and zucchini in the hamburger soup, but I've been learning with Weight Watchers that the more that I can add for veggies, the more filling it's going to be, the closer it'll be to 0 points, all that kind of stuff. The further it also extends its life, so I'll have it for probably an extra day or so, which I think is great. So I'm going to saute this stuff up, and in the meantime, I've got a bunch of carrots that I want to peel and get ready for my bins. I have got my soup put together now. Nice and hearty. I'll probably have to add more water later. Well, I'll definitely have to add more water later because I'm probably going to put a little bit of barley in it at the end, closer to when I want to eat it. Right now it's supposed to boil for 2 hours. That'll soften my carrots and celery up. My onions and mushrooms and zucchini were really well cooked before I added them. I've got ground beef in this one. With Weight Watchers, what I don't know is how to tell what percentage of fat there is in my ground beef because the points are very different. So I need to figure out that. I have added for broth this because I already had it open. And I've added some of this, which is from Epicure, Nourish Broth. It's got nutritional yeast in it, which is supposed to be a good mood enhancer, and turmeric and a few other things that are really good for you as well. Although I have heard recently that Epicure is closing its doors, so I need to look into that. On this side of the kitchen, I've got all the rest of my veggie prepping going on. Got my containers filled here. My husband found some broccoli that was made in Mexico, so we purchased that. Last time I couldn't find any. This time, however, he couldn't find any celery that wasn't made in the States, so we may not have any celery for our stuffed peppers. I'm in the process of trying to drink this whole thing of detox water while I am preparing my food today. I'm moving on to my stuffed peppers now, and I've purchased 6. The best way we found like you do have to cook these ahead of time, the peppers, so that they're soft, because they take longer to cook than what you want when you would just warm them up in the casserole dish at the end. Was to barbecue them, but it's winter time and we don't have the barbecue is super accessible right now, so I'm just going to cut the tops off, de-seed them, put them in the oven, cook them for, I don't know, about 20 minutes. Should get a little liquid inside, dump the liquid out, and that way they're pre-cooked a little bit. Then I make all of the hamburger and the vegetables, very similar to what I just did with the hamburger soup, to be honest with you, but I want a slightly different profile of flavor, so I'm not eating exactly the same tasting thing all week. So I'm gonna saute up some different vegetables, and I took out ground chicken for this one instead of ground beef, so that I'm also substituting my protein for the week, and we'll add black beans to this as well. That's not in the original recipe, but again, just to add some extra protein, like Weight Watchers has been trying to teach me. And we'll see what vegetables we can come up with, since I don't have celery to go in here. Might be heavy on the onions, but I'll take a look in my fridge and see if I can come up with something else that I want to add. Okay, whoops, wobbled my camera. All I've done here is chop the top off of my peppers. I put them in here. I've preheated my oven up to 400 degrees, and I am going to cook these for about 20 minutes. If you like more al dente peppers, you don't have to do this step. I do it because I'm not a big fan of raw peppers, and so I like mine quite cooked. After these are all nice and cooked, I will just make sure all of the liquid is out of them, and then we'll stuff them with our ground beef and rice filling, and put them back in the oven to cook a little bit longer with usually some cheese on top, and we'll be good to go. Okay, right now I'm sauteing my chicken, or browning my chicken, and onions for my stuffed peppers. I've added some rosemary and some hot chili flakes. I'm going to turn this off because it looks like it's cooking really well. Wanted a little bit of a different flavor there. Added a bunch of garlic to it as well. And my soup, hamburger soup, is sitting here boiling away. It's got another couple of hours to go. Get some really good flavor going in there. Next, for this, I gotta add some black beans and some tomatoes, but I am thinking I have way too much base here, so I'm gonna actually make a spaghetti sauce that I can freeze and stuffed peppers. So I'm gonna have 3 things prepared today. That's very exciting. All right, I've added some black beans and canned tomatoes to my base for the stuffed peppers. I've actually taken out a huge chunk of it because I'm going to make that into spaghetti sauce, I decided, because I just have too much base there. I'm going to add half a cup of rice to this, and instead of adding more rice, I'm going to add cauliflower rice to, again, up the veggie intake and see how it goes. I just pulled my peppers out of the oven. I'm not sure if you can see, there's liquid all on the inside of there, so I'm going to drain those out. Those are much softer now, and they'll be ready for my stuffing, and they'll go back in the oven again closer to supper time when we want to eat them, and melt a little bit of cheese on them, so they'll be all ready to go. And those will freeze nicely as well, because Jay and I won't need to eat 6 of them. And my soup is still going. I just cut myself a bunch of carrots for the week. I did sticks just for putting in the veggie trays, and then I made some that I'll use probably in a stir fry or something along those lines. I forgot to tell you, in the stuffed peppers, I said I was going to add the rice, but you also have to add water because the rice has to cook, so there has to be enough liquid in there. The canned tomatoes are in there, and there's some liquid already, but I find I have to add about a cup of water to make sure that the rice cooks in there while it's steaming and simmering and that kind of a thing. I'm going to give it a taste, see how it's turned out. I added some hot peppers. I should be dork. Or maybe sucking on down a hot pepper, not sure. That's pretty good actually. Once I get over the initial kick. I think I'm okay with that. Salt, pepper, a little bit of heat. It'll meld a little bit more. It's gonna have cheese on the top. I think I'm okay with it. So, tested it out. Next, I gotta figure out what to do with the spaghetti sauce that I'm gonna make. So I'm gonna chop up the rest of my zucchini and carrots, I think, to go inside the spaghetti sauce. All right, I'm winding up food prep day. So I have 4 individual containers for the week. I've got a thing of broccoli so I can roast. I've got vegetables. I've got carrots sliced ready for a stir fry. My bonus dish was this big pot of spaghetti sauce, so that's awesome. I'm gonna put that in baggies to put in my freezer. I have my hamburger soup here, and I have 6 stuffed peppers ready to go. So I'm pretty pleased with that. I also boiled some eggs, which need peeling, and drank 3 glasses of my detox water while I was at it and refilled my pitcher. So I've had a pretty good day over here. Now I'm tired. It's time to rest.